Hello and welcome to Is There Something in This, the podcast where I, Scott Dooley, and he, Jason Chatfield, invite you into our writer's room where we come up with our cartoons that we do for The New Yorker, for our book series, for Airmail, for Mad Magazine, for the love of the game.
Mainly the love of the game.
The love of the game.
Isn't that something that people have lost? The love of the game.
I don't know. I think you see people. I think what we consider a game has changed.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true. It's
like Elon wasn't getting paid to do that salute.
Oh boy,
He did it for the love of the game.
Wasn't that a game changer? Well, I mean, it's a new year, it's a new paradigm, it's a new Reich. We are new. We are.
I would just like to say, Jason's statements don't necessarily reflect those of is there something in this or the is there something in this
LLC
controlling interests.
Where you went away to Australia for Christmas and New Year's, which is an interesting time to sort of. It was the end of one era and the beginning of another. So you sort of got to rinse your mouth and come back, so to speak, to a new America.
We've had this conversation. You put way too much more focus on this than I do. Not that it's necessarily too much, but I'm like, well, listen, this is their crazy country.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to do, they do. I'm a visitor here, and I don't vote. Good luck to you. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a citizen. I live here. And
this sounds like a you problem.
This is a me problem. This is it. So you've come back, and we have a new president and a whole bunch of new material that we can mine. Although it is like drinking from a fire hose at this point. I don't know how you've been feeling about it.
It was quite stark.
Yeah.
When I read today, so today, just for the sake of
Friday
the 31st of January,
end of Jan.
And someone put up a thing. It's like, hey, so here are all the things that have happened. He's been in power for 11 days.
11 days. It feels like 11 weeks.
It's like,
and you know that?
It's like planes are crashing and stuff now.
Literally, planes are falling out of this. It's been 11. Give it a minute. Like, this is that kind of thing where this conflation with, like, people think, oh, well, if this is 11 days, imagine his first 100 days are going to be like, it's 10x. That's not what 10x means. But it's also everyone kind of conflating these 11 days with, well, this is what the next 4 years will be. I think it's a shock and awe campaign. I think these first couple of weeks are just kind of to just destabilize everyone. And then it's probably just going to, I don't know, it's going to get a little less insane.
I was like, you know
Wishful
what?
thinking maybe, I don't know.
California was like, fuck it, burn it down.
What was that joke you once had about Trump? Oh, I told you I'd turn California red.
Oh, yeah, that was an old joke, yeah. So, listen, we don't have a huge amount of time. Let's get into this.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of, like, evergreeny kind of... I've got one joke which... I've got two jokes that I quite like. Yes. I think one you will really like.
Okay,
let's just...
All right. Is there something in this?
Is there something in this? So, cats... In an apartment.
I'm going to stop you. I'm sorry. I know it's early. You've said the word cats.
So cats are looking down from an apartment building down onto like a busy sidewalk where there's people waiting for a bus. Or they're waiting for a bus. Let's say they're waiting for a bus. They're at a bus stop. The cats are looking down.
All right.
So if you can't see this because we're not filming, we're just doing the sketches today. But
we've got a couple of cats.
Jason looks like a cartoonist who is like convalescing by the sea, like. This is where you're doing. This is your Walden Lake.
This is my Walden Lake.
Yeah, it's like you need some fresh air. That's what's going to get rid of the rickets.
That's the dream. I think that'll be me by the end of this administration. It'll be me in a cabin in the woods, Thoreau style.
Well, sadly, with this administration, a cabin in the woods suggests some kind of militia is being formed.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's like as if there's a guy with camouflage, just like, I live off the grid. It's no longer like that's a bit of self-care. It's I want to stay away from government buildings in that state.
I want to stay away from drones.
Yeah. So it's cats, and they're looking down onto people waiting for a bus. And you know how like when the sun hits between the buildings, there's just like one beam of sun, and everyone at this time of the year, because it's winter, stands in the sun.
Yes.
And it's cats looking down, going, "Oh, it's so cute when they do that."
Oh, it's the cats.
The cats are looking at the
flip.
It's a flip.
It's
a classic. It's a classic flip.
Oh, we're off to a flying
look
start.
out! You know what? That gets a little bit of a record scratch.
Oh, no, we're starting.
If I can find that.
Record scratch.
Here we go. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm pressing.
You're
buttons.
pressing buttons.
Peace to our friends at Road Mics.
Mics.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I kind of like that joke.
Yep, that's great. Isn't it cute? Isn't it cute when they do that?
It's so cute how they do that. But I'm kind of.
No, I like that.
I also have a bunch of dailies to pitch you about the Super Bowl.
Right.
And I'm just conscious of time.
No, let's do it. It's Super Bowl Sunday coming up next weekend. So
yeah.
we've got to get some things, start pitching now just to get ahead of the game, so to speak.
I'm just going to go through this. This is the joke. I think this is the Outback Steakhouse Pick of the Week. It's a woman getting dressed with her roommates there or a friend or whatever, and she's putting on like a mink stole or she's getting dressed up. She looks like she's going to a gala. Like she looks amazing. She's got jewelry. She's got all the stuff, a little matching clutch purse and stuff, and then her friend is just there wearing like jeans and a hoodie, and she's dressed for the movies, and the other one is dressed for the Met Gala. and the one that's all dressed up is clearly saying something, and the caption is "Dress for the societal collapse you want, not the societal collapse you have."
You have the societal collapse. That's fun. That's
Kind of nice, right?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, dress for the societal collapse you want. Not the
societal collapse you have. Just for the... Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, this is one that... we had a bit of a conversation a while ago about the idea of like who can make certain jokes. And in cartooning, this has been kind of a point of contention. And so I can make this joke. It's very rare that someone like me is able to say that. That I can make the following joke because as a middle-aged white guy, it's very rare that I'm like, this is kind of the thing that I can.
Okay,
this isn't going to be mean. All right, I don't know if it's like an ad or it's a brochure or something, and there's an asterisk, and it's like the small print, and the asterisk is actual incidents of interracial couples may vary. Because in every single ad, there's always an interracial couple. Now, as someone that is in an interracial couple, we always look at it. There's not that many of us around. You don't see them that often. You don't see us that often.
Incidents of interracial
couples may vary.
Couples may vary.
Like at a theme park or a university or a
like a carnival theme park.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple at a theme park, and there's rides and fairy floss and people everywhere, and it's a very diverse.
It's always very diverse, and our friend Doug Smith is one of 3 kids, and 2 were adopted. And of different ethnicities, and he said all of our family photos look like a university brochure. This young, perfect mix of races.
That's so funny. That is very funny.
Yeah, he's very funny. He's a really funny guy, Doug. Look, do you mind if I just get straight into my Super Bowl ones?
Let's go Super Bowl.
Okay, doctor is talking to a man who looks very...
Is the man on the bench?
Yeah, he's on the bench.
What kind of bench?
And he's like, he looks very tired, and he's just like, he looks ill. He's at the doctor for a reason, and the doctor is saying, For the last time, it's not football fever. You're a very sick man.
That's great. I like that. It's not football fever. It's considered football. This point in the year is always football fever. There's NBA finals, there's Super Bowl, there's World Series. This is football fever season. It's going around.
I don't know.
There's something going around.
Yeah. The World Series isn't on.
No. At the different times of year, there's like these eras, these seasons in America.
I understand.
You can't
March
just
Madness.
have, you can't just have basketball. It's March Madness. It's football
I
fever.
Understand.
You've got some kind of malady every fucking 3 months. It's just like there's another pandemic, and it's only for the NBA, only on what is it? ESPN.
Oh yeah, TNT, ESPN. Yeah. Commentators outside the stadium after the game.
Okay, I'm just going to put football fever for this.
Football fever.
Yeah, all right. These graphs are going to be rough. Yep. Okay.
There's
commentators outside
the stadium after the game.
Okay.
And they're like in a back alley, and they've kind of got like nothing to do because the season's over, and they're one of them's holding up a sign that says "We'll commentate for food." I don't know about that one.
I don't know. Is it what do they not commentate? That's the thing they do, but what are the thing they give spicy takes, they give
so if they're in the alley like opening up the jacket, being like hey, you want me to describe 4th and short?
Yeah. Right. They've got their headphones on still.
Yeah, with the CBS logo on there.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, so back alley's always so funny to me because I've been living in New York for over 10 years now. I live in an area in Hell's Kitchen where there are a lot of back alleys. I've never seen a man in a trench coat in New York City, and yet I think I've drawn maybe 15 cartoons of a man on the New York streets with
You know what they say?
Dress for the man in the alley you want.
If you have never seen a man in a trench coat in a dark alley, you are the man in the trench coat.
Shit.
All right, we're going to get going. Jason's going to expose himself to some tourists in a minute.
Is it that time already?
The theatre crowd's going to be dropping in soon.
I've got back alley madness.
This one is one that I think we should discuss because to exactly your point that you were saying how there's always something. It's like The Nation. I don't know if it's like an Onion headline, but it's like The Nation is saying, all right, basketball, you'd better get real distracting real fast.
Okay. So
do you get the thrust of what I'm kind of getting at?
Of course.
Yeah.
I think this could be an absurdist cartoon. And
shouts to Steed.
Oh, my favorite. And I think it's the guy coming out of the press briefing room after just being briefed by a 27-year-old blonde psychopath. And just looking bedraggled, exhausted, just clearly a series of things have just been said that the press corps are completely just like utterly befuddled and exhausted by. He's coming out and he's seen, and basketball is just there. Basketball with legs, maybe not wearing a trench coat, but and he's like, all right, basketball, you're up. All right, basketball, time to get very distracting. Or is it the American people? I mean, the thing is, it's hard to do American
the
people.
Nation.
The Nation without doing Uncle Sam. Like, that's usually how editorial cartoons go.
The
Nation is Uncle Sam in a top hat.
We're in lampooning the Kaiser territory.
Yeah. There's a sickle and a hammer somewhere. There's labels and everything. There's a tank and a Soviet, gun.
Europe dressed like a wolf.
There you go. Yeah. You did Lit 101. You did English Literature 101. There was a point. I don't know, basketball. If you say, okay, basketball.
I'm just thinking of something
just
to
run me the
distract
line
us.
one more time.
All right, basketball, you'd better get real distracting real fast. I don't know. Maybe it's not a very good joke.
No. I think there's something there. I don't think we should wholesale throw it out. I think there's something there. Is it the guy, and I know we're the kings of a guy talking to a TV, but is it the guy just sort of getting into, like, he's in basketball gear, he's got his snacks, he's in his, like the jersey, he's got the flags, everything ready to go, the dog sitting next to him, TV's all decked out, because it's just like outside there's like a nuclear explosion's gone off. There's planes falling out of the sky. Through the window you can see that it's absolute bedlam. And he's saying, all right, basketball.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Or is it football or basketball?
Well, it's got to be basketball because football season's over.
Yeah. You're right. Is it football tagging in? Is it the football tagging into basketball? Like tagging, all right, basketball, you're up. Time to get real distracting real fast. Like a mascot or a actual, football player in a helmet tagging into like a, basketball player. Right. You're up. Time to be the distracting thing that people
or is it
look
then
at
is
the
it
bar
like
instead
is
of
it a psychologist saying it to someone on the couch like this is self-care?
Basketball is self-care.
Yeah, like basketball
fandom.
Yeah, distraction is like.
What if it's a basketball on the therapist couch going, it's just so much pressure? You know what I mean? To be that distracting. I mean, it's a
so
lot.
many trades we can make. There's only so many guys LeBron can recruit. You're only allowed 10 at a set.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, maybe
it's not the strongest.
No. But I mean, when do they ever buy our strongest? I mean,
it's true.
But yeah, the idea of a basketball, just sort of being, on the therapist couch, and therapist in the chair, off to the side, diploma, and he's just like, it's just so much pressure, and he's looking a bit deflated too, like he's looking a bit like, oof, it's already like, it's a lot of pressure.
So much pressure to keep them distracted without football. No, that's just way too hand-holdy.
Yeah, unless there's something the therapist is saying, like about pressure.
Yeah,
like it's a lot on your shoulders. It's a lot of weight on your shoulders. It's like Atlas
holding a basketball instead of the earth.
Or is it a basketball?
The final distraction of Atlas.
Yeah.
Okay, let's ruminate.
Yeah, let's ruminate on that one. All right,
this one, the MVP, like in a queue or paying for something at Disney World.
Or in America,
I don't know.
A line.
I don't know. Okay, I like this one. Mm-hmm. In the huddle, we're looking at the huddle. Team is all around like the quarterback.
Okay.
I don't think it has to be like Patrick Mahomes. It's just going to be generic football huddle. They get in and the QB tells them what the play is. We're going to go slant right or whatever. And he's got a piece of paper, the QB, and all these big guys are looking at him. And it says, according to this executive order, we have to run it on this play.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Is he holding one of those steakhouse menus?
Yes.
With the Sharpie signature. We talked about this in his first term. He only signs executive orders. Did you notice Biden didn't do this? He only signs executive orders on a menu that looks like it's from like Keynes.
That's
or like
funny.
That's
funny.
Dumb. Yeah, so it's
Is
according...
that a joke? Like someone at a steakhouse?
Yeah.
Sorry, we're mistaken this. Yeah, give us an executive order. It's over for the wine list.
Yeah, there's something there. Oh, is it? Yeah, like someone hands Trump the wine list in a menu and he signs it in the restaurant. He signs
That's pretty
it.
funny.
Yeah. Okay. So according to this executive order, yeah, that's great. That's pretty funny.
We have to run it on this play. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the game, you're not a big football guy. You're more a baseball dude.
I'm a baseball guy. Yeah.
But at the beginning of the game, like 3 players from each team walk out from their sidelines to meet the refs in the middle, and they kind of shake hands and they do the coin toss
Sportsmanship,
and that stuff.
Kind of like the cricket.
And the ref will be like, all right, guys, we're just going to have a real clean game and, we're going to be looking at it and blah, 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 blah. What about this if the ref is addressing the players and he says, due to inflation, touchdowns are going to be worth 12 points?
Now, so is there 2 people per side that come?
It's like 2 or 3, 3 or 4 guys go out and they all stand up, and then there's someone kind of almost like a
He's a ref, right? He's a
ref. He's wearing black and white stripes. He's got a whistle. He's got a cap on that says NFL.
And he's got that little earpiece, little Madonna ear.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Because they, they're live. Everyone's got a hot mic.
They've all got hot mics.
And so the guys, they got the helmets in their hands? I'm asking for accuracy, just like, do they have their helmets like just in their hands?
A couple of them will be wearing them, or one of them, maybe they don't have helmets on at all.
So we can see their expression.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Due to inflation?
Due to inflation, touchdowns are worth 12 points.
Great, love it. No, that's nice and tight. Love that.
Empty locker room. I think one of the first jokes we sold was about Trump.
Calling
the winning. So traditionally, the US president will call the winning team's locker room to congratulate them on their achievement. And we did one which was Trump watching the television, and the team was waiting on the phone call, and his caption was, "No calling first is a sign of weakness." So this one's a bit of a twist on that. It's like now we're in the locker room, and it's clear there's been a party on, there's been a celebration. It's empty though. Maybe there's a janitor there or something, and one of the janitors, but on the phone is a player who's still there. Like he's on the phone that's attached to the wall of the locker room.
Yeah.
And he's looking like, Jesus, how long? Like, I've been here for a while. Everyone's gone out and I'm stuck here.
Right.
And one of the janitors is saying, he just asked the president if he enjoyed the game. And he just can't get off the phone.
That's funny.
I don't know. The caption's not very good, but the idea of like, you've got somewhere to go, and on the other end of the line is the most tangential conversationalist potentially in the history of the world.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pin my colours on that.
Yeah.
The most. Yeah, I like the idea. Yeah, there's just streamers and all sorts of stuff all over. There's jerseys and there's
like it's like straight, like it's all being swept up. It's over.
Yeah. And he's still just sitting there. And he's just looking so like, ugh. He's just bent over.
Yeah.
And
he's like trying to get off
So it's one janitor saying to the other janitor.
It might be a janitor or a trainer or something, but I like the idea it's just the one player who's stuck and everyone's like, hey, good luck with that, Travis.
Yeah. Do you want me to turn out the lights? Or
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I like the idea that it's maybe there's a clock on the wall.
Something like that.
Yeah, just to show some time.
And this one's not very good. This not even.
They can't all be winners, Scott. They can't all be bangers.
Winning player being interviewed after the game, on the field, just the vox pop, the very tiny person next to the big footballer, and the winning player is saying, "The coach's plan to score more points than the other team proved to be a masterstroke." It's like borderline sports ball, like people that call like, the sports ball's on. Well, you don't know what football is? You don't know what that's called? Are you being willfully ignorant here? You sound stupid. Stop being stupid.
Can I defend your cartoon for 1 second before you dare it to shreds?
No, I'm tearing. I've gone off on another. I'm off on another tangent. I'm worked up.
Self-hating cartoonist, which is, by the way, the default for most cartoons. So and we've got people celebrating in the background, obviously, like woo, and then like a big stadium of people who are, celebrating, and then this person's being interviewed, and he's still, he's in his helmet. He's the quarterback. Sports ball. Now, great joke. I can visualize it immediately, which is a good sign for a cartoon. We are writing this for an audience of people who read the New Yorker magazine and Airmail. And so that's precisely the joke that you're writing. I mean, you're not writing for ESPN.
Oh, no, I get that. I understand the joke. No, I don't mind the joke. No, but I hate people that use the term sports ball as if they've never heard of football or baseball or
you're
basketball.
You're talking about people using the term sports ball like cynically and being,
you guys really like something. Fuck you. It's like, meanwhile, if you mistake Lord of the Rings with The Hobbit and that person, they'll lose their mind.
Yeah, exactly. Or you mispronounce NVIDIA or something. Yeah, I get it. I think that's good. I like... Actually, there's something about I think it's because I've been trying to be too clever sometimes with jokes, and then we'll pitch them and go, I think there's too many levels, or there's too many layers, or there's just too much going on. I kind of like a joke.
Not an accusation you can level at that last one.
Not one easily leveled at you. No, what I mean is like I think. And this is what it is. It's out of not wanting to repeat something someone's already done. Is you try and get a little too meta or detailed or like, new, going like, oh, well, no one will have done this. How could they have done this? That you end up just disappearing up your own ass and just it becomes too obscure.
Or you try to be...
I know what you're going to say. Don't say it. So
it just sounds like new.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. So the thing is, and for the new listeners, welcome. We do actually have a lot of new listeners and a lot of new subscribers. Thank you for signing up.
If you come to our live shows, every time I hint towards this plagiarist and joke thief, you come to a live show, I'll say the name before.
Yeah, because it's just, it's a one and done. It's like an improv show.
Exactly. You're not allowed to film me, though, because you'd probably sue me.
No, this is...
Using someone else's defense, the fucking thief.
That's ChatGPT.
All right, what do you got?
Okay, geez, wow, a lot of pressure right out of the gate. So much gold. Okay, so by the way, if you do want to come to a live pod, please hit us up on Substack or itsitpodcast@gmail.com. Just let us know if you're in New York City or are liable to be in New York City at any time. We'd love to send you details about our live shows that we do.
Or if you live somewhere coastal and have like 600 friends, that would coastal
600
coastal
friends.
Ideally. Yeah, I can see it's doing a couple of nights.
There are actually a lot of people who subscribed, by the way, after and I don't know if you want to talk about this, but it's germane to our podcast. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine and Pulitzer Prize winning editorial cartoonist quit the Washington Post.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that because the cartoon, and you did a thing, and a lot of cartoonists did a thing of it was what was the cartoon saying? After
a lot of tech and business sort of billionaires sort of genuflecting to Trump and donating to his inaugural fund and donating money to him. They're in it. I get it. Everyone gets it, but there's an integrity thing that was the point of contention. And the problem was that Jeff Bezos, who owns the Washington Post, some of his subordinates killed the cartoon. This has never happened before. This is not. When I say never happened before, never in her entire career has Anne had a cartoon killed because of who.
What was the image?
The image was of a giant Trump, almost like a statue, like a giant Caesar-esque kind of statue. And all of it was like Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and not Elon Musk, interestingly enough, and Mickey Mouse and Sam Altman, just these tech billionaires, basically throwing...
And cartoon mice.
Yeah, it's cartoon mice. Bob. It's one of the Bobs. Throwing bags of money, leaving bags of money and bowing before this giant statue of Trump. Now, it isn't even one of the most controversial cartoons she's done. It's actually, if I'm honest, it's not even close to one of the most controversial ideas she's done. It's just that it was pointing out...
She did a lot of Muhammad's.
Yeah. You should see the Muhammad. It's a classic.
Yeah. We don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Just so you know, we're not into
hands up. So she quit because they killed it. They gave a bullshit excuse, but it was very, very obviously not the reason they killed it. And then it was classic case of the Streisand effect. Like she very clearly told everybody why she quit. Posted the rough. Didn't do a finish. Just posted the rough.
So lazy. Maybe that's why she got fired. Doesn't see things through.
And then it just went kind of crazy viral. And then all the other cartoonists in solidarity with her did their own version of it. Like either took it as inspiration to do their own or just did it their own version of that same cartoon.
And that's where the term after and... What's the
well, you say
name?
After or with apologies to, but usually after. If it's something where it's like, oh, I'm doing this in solidarity with, you say after Ann Talnes or after Charles Schultz. But if it's like, a parody of something they created. Say, like, you're doing a parody of, like, you know, it's Kim Jong-un pulling the football away from Trump. It's like, all right, with apologies to Schultz. Because it's, you know, it's Lucy pulling the football away from Charlie Brown. So after Anne. So it's like after blah, 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 or with apologies to, or some people said, like, in solidarity with, which is new. That's not the, you know... not de rigueur. I don't know if that's the right term. Anyway... What happened was it went insane, went viral. She posted it on Substack. We are on Substack. We're associated on Substack. And so a lot of people found us through her. So we have a lot of new listeners this year, and hopefully henceforth, who found us through that.
Oh, right.
So that's nice because they actually give a shit about cartooning and free speech, which, dare I say, may be in peril.
I like one of those things.
Okay.
You seditious prick.
All right. So all across the holidays. So I spent Christmas in New York, basically like trying to get this idea, this joke to work because I spent my Christmas. This is not the first time I've done this. I don't always go home for Christmas. I don't always spend it with family. I don't always spend it with friends. Sometimes I do what is in Manhattan or in New York City. Affectionately known as Jewish Christmas, which is going to a movie and getting some dumplings at a Chinese restaurant. That is, of course, because people of the Jewish faith don't celebrate Christmas, and the only things open are Chinese restaurants and movie theaters. So I spent the whole time thinking about, I don't know what it is about biblical stories that I just find them so entertaining, obviously because they're written to be entertaining for a certain... when you're a kid, but then after a while you're like, oh, that's a silly story. I was in Spain at Thanksgiving, lost my glasses, and was checking my going back, trying to find them. And the first thing anyone says to you, what's the first thing anyone says when you lose something?
Last place you look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's when you find them. No, they're always in the last place you look.
Yeah.
What's the first thing they say when you say, "Oh, I've lost something"?
Where'd you last see them?
Or where did you have them last? Where did you see them last? And then inevitably retrace your steps. I just thought it'd be really funny, and I need your help with this to get this. It's the Jews wandering through the desert after 40 years. And one of them is like touching his pockets, like, oh. And then Moses is like, oh, where did you have him last? Or retrace your steps. Which one's funnier?
Retrace your steps is funny because you can literally see the
sand
steps.
Yeah, and it's a train of people. It's a big train of people.
This is such a Jewish joke.
Oh,
as well.
100%.
Oh my god, that's so
and
funny.
I bounced it off my ever reliable Jewish friend Ethan. We meet at a diner every Sunday. And I just listened to him kvetch, basically. But I ran it off him, and he said there's too many layers to it for people to get it. So I need you to kind of pare it down for me. How do we show that A, it's the Jews wandering through the desert, and it has been 40 years, as like footsteps in the sand going all the way back to the horizon? How do we show? Is the guy like, is he patting himself down? To be like, oh, my keys. I forgot my key. As if he's going to need his keys wherever they're going. And Moses, of course, just being like, oh, you again. Moses? Yeah, Moses. Yeah. I can see your wheels turning.
Is there something in him responding to where did you last see them? Because I think that's pretty ubiquitous, right?
I think that's the reason I ask it. That's the reason I asked you, because you said exactly what I was hoping you would say, which is where'd you have them last? Where'd you last see them? But
or what if he's saying like everyone stopped, Moses hands on the hips.
Yeah.
Like they've all got long beards and they're all I'd say it's something like it would have been 37 years ago near the Oasis just outside Bethlehem. So, like, that's when he last saw them.
The mirage.
It's the idea, yeah.
It's the ultimate desert crawler.
It's like something along the lines of like, well, I saw them 38 years ago.
Where'd you last? 38 years ago? Yeah. So that's the other thing is like assuming what has been asked and giving the answer.
Yeah, and without being like that, that's where the kind of devil is, right? Like it's trying to get that across without holding the hand too tightly.
Yeah. These are the agonies that keep us awake at night, dear listener. This is the life of a cartoonist trying to get a joke over the line.
Yeah.
Usually, if you bring it to the cartoon editor, they will say yay or nay based on, I think it's too much of a leap or that doesn't quite work. They may give you advice on it, but sometimes they're like, nah, take another pass. But we're kind of working in the dark now, so we're just kind of guessing, whether it's going to work.
What else is something like...
What, that you would lose or where it'd be insane to go back and look for it? Like in the sea? Like Moby Dick?
Or something like, we're not going back to get your Pez. Like, or something, like something...
Has he realized after 39 and a half years
yeah.
that he's like, oh, no, I forgot. Pez is funny.
Yeah.
Pez, the more silly the thing, the funnier the joke. Pez is such a funny idea. Have they arrived somewhere and someone was meant to have brought something? Because
where were they going?
The Promised Land. I believe. The Holy Land.
Did they make it?
You tell me. I don't know. It's a very complicated story. Maybe that's not the right place to land is the arriving. It's
I
so
think...
much as they're in the desert and it's an open-ended, we don't know that it's going to be 40 years. They may even just be like, 2 days in, but it's still too far to turn back. Like it's just there's footsteps going all the way back to some,
What if it's the step counting? Like we got 10,000 like 30 years ago, dude.
That's pretty good. I didn't even think about counting steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. 40 years in the desert. Yeah, but think about your step count. Did you get your steps in? Did you get your steps in? That's the line, isn't it, that people say? Did you get your steps in?
Get your steps in.
That's pretty good.
I'm going to tell you what I've told you every day for the last 40 years. Yes, I got my 10,000.
Yeah, I got my... Is it Moses bragging to everyone after they've already... It's been years since they've settled. All he ever talks about is the 40 years in the desert. It's like, he never shuts up about how he got 40,000 steps. Or like, how he got like his record. He's got a streak. You know when you get streaks on the Apple Watch or Fitbit?
Or what if like there's people like they're right back in the... Because the way I've always seen the kind of caravan, for want of a better term, is it's almost like people walking in pairs in a straight line.
Yeah, it kind of is just a clump of people.
That was kind of how it's always been depicted.
Carrying things.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Children on their hips, yeah.
It's like... I will never forgive the person that got Moses that step counter. It's like, fuck the entire... Yeah, you got the Whoop band or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, we would have got there in 2 years, but he wanted to get his steps in.
Yeah.
All right, maybe that's it. We would have got there. Yeah, okay. Okay, is there something in this? It's a light bulb.
Yep.
He's tied to a chair in a damp warehouse.
Right.
It's dark.
Yeah.
There's a couple of gangsters standing over him. Mm-hmm. Maybe one with a hammer. Mm-hmm. Saying, don't get any bright ideas.
Oh, wow. Wow. Look, before you go, thank you for joining us from...
Before you switch over to NPR.
Before you go back to... Don't get any bright ideas.
Yeah. It's a light bulb in a chair.
No, I get it.
No, I know. I'm just hurting your brain.
I get it. There is something funny about torturing an inanimate.
Yeah.
What do they want?
Yeah, I mean, they want him to talk. Obviously, he's got ideas, this kid. He's got something. He knows something.
What if it's like, you won't light up a room when I'm done with you or something like that?
My favorite inanimate, and a shout out to Bob Eckstein here, my favorite inanimate object as a person cartoon is the Guru on the Mountain, the Rubik's Cube. Have you seen this one of the person coming up, the Rubik's Cube coming up the mountain all scattered and jumbled?
One, yes.
And the Guru is just like solved.
That's
it's
great.
One of the best.
That's
I think
very
it's one of the best New York.
And lovely use of color as well.
Yeah. And you know what? Back in the day, you used to actually get paid a little bit more for color, even though it was spot color. It was always like, oh, if it needs color for the gag, well, we'll pay a little bit more. Is it a light bulb with a beard in a robe, maybe some sandals or beads, sitting on a pillow in front of a giant room full of light bulbs that are switched off? So it's just one bulb at the front that's on. Or is that too similar to?
I was going to say it's pretty similar to the Eckstein, but it's a lovely image.
Yeah, because the reason I got there to remembered Bob was that I thought of the light bulb image as the Guru light bulb on, and then all the light bulbs in the room, on their pillows, yoga pillows, looking up at him with the lights, with their bulbs off. But then I thought that's pretty much the same joke as Bob. It's just a different inanimate object. I feel it's too close. It's too close a joke.
The torture one feels like a good caption contest.
Yeah, I actually thought that, and not often do I think when I'm coming up with a joke that might be a better caption comp. But a light bulb tied to a chair, with a couple of gangsters, like Chicago mobsters looking.
Yeah, I can see the proper.
Suits,
big bruiser with the
spats,
scar under his eye.
Maybe it's one of those weird whacking things that they hold. I don't know what that is, but they.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. It's like a leather.
Yeah. What are those? They just cause a bruise.
NASA used it to knock Homer out.
That's right.
I don't know what it's called.
What a reference. Yeah. The other one is there something in like the moth to the flame thing? Like, is there something in a moth trying to get, like the moth is trying to rescue the light bulb or get to the light bulb somehow? Just as I don't want to add too many things to it, but just the idea of a light bulb and a moth trying to get to the light bulb.
What if it's a moth?
Yeah.
And a light bulb.
Yeah.
At dinner, romantic dinner, sitting at either side of the table.
Of a long dining table?
No. Like an intimate, like they're at it. Like everyone else around them's human.
Candlelit dinner in a restaurant?
Okay. Moth on one side of the table.
Yeah.
Light bulb on the other.
Yeah.
And the moth saying, I'm very attracted to you.
I find you very attractive.
Yeah, something about you.
I hope you don't mind me saying this.
I know we can never be, but I'm so attracted to you.
I know it can never be. That's funny. It is an impossibility. There's no way they could.
Or is it a flame? It's even more dangerous for.
Is it a candle? Oh, is it two moths at dinner and there's a candle in the middle of the table, and she's going, "Oh, keep your eyes off her." He's clearly just like taken by the flame of the candle.
Or is it a moth going up, two moths going up to a kind of, hey, we couldn't help but notice your vibe across the bar. Like there's swingers, there's swinging for moths.
Couple. Just non-monogamous, ethical
just
non-monogamy.
Ethical non-monogamy within the moth community.
Yeah, that's funny. Is there something in the, because there's always, in those romantic candlelit dinners, moths dining and trying to stop from looking at the can. They just... No,
it's not even looking at it. It's just like going over to
going over to the can. I couldn't help but notice. Or like, I hope you don't mind me saying, I find you very attractive. Is it a moth?
Or it is two moths leaving a restaurant, and the restaurant has the, the awning, the covered walkway to get in, classic, like the vestibule, the valet out the front, and she looks very angry putting on her coat, and something, I don't know, there's something, the idea of the joke is like they've got a banned candlelight at the restaurant. Like maybe it's they're not leaving. Maybe it's like, you promised me a candlelight. Like they won't do it for us. Like it's a moth-run restaurant.
It's a moth-run restaurant. And they won't do candlelight.
They can't do candlelight.
They can't do candles.
I don't know. I kind of like the flame or the moth and the light bulb together. They finally got together and just...
Or he's just trying to ignore the candle at the other table and she's like, oh, old flame? It's a terrible pun. That's bad.
What the... Yeah. I like the idea. I don't know. It is a nice idea of them, like the forbidden love.
Yeah, the forbidden love, the flame and the moth, or even if it's like a dating app and it's just the moth swiping on a flame. I don't know. That's
not bad.
I don't know. Is there something there, or like, you know?
Or if it's two light bulbs looking at their app, their like Hinge or Bumble or Tinder or whatever the people use nowadays.
I wouldn't know.
And it's like one of them lamenting, like, it's just all moths.
That's pretty funny. Are they bots?
No, they're all moths.
I mean, they're moths. Yeah.
No, because it's a light bulb. Like,
yeah. Oh boy, I've got to type.
Yeah.
What's your type?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. There's something there. I think there's something in that. Okay. We did talk about the press room earlier. Did you see today, or I think it was yesterday this week, sometime in the miasma of announcements, they are now going to give press credentials and press access in the briefing room to podcasters. I'm going to, and I'm not even kidding, I'm literally going to put in an application to get access.
And what will you do? You'll ask questions.
Go in, ask questions.
All right, let's pretend
notes.
I'm the
You're
press
the young
secretary.
27-year-old blonde press secretary. Looking very nice.
You are the.
She's known for wearing white t-shirts.
You are the rabble rousing podcaster that's in there.
Yeah. I just need a quote for my pod.
All right. So listen, not a huge amount to update you on today, but I don't think you're going to respond the whole time if you're in the press corps.
Well, no, they're going to call on me for a question.
Yeah, but you haven't been called on yet. I'm just here. I'm just
quiet.
Sorry, this is why we shouldn't have podcasters. All right. So, look, not a huge amount to update you on. Obviously, the president is helping the FAA with their investigation into the recent tragedy outside of Washington, D.C. I'm not going to be answering any questions with regard to the president's comments with regard to DEI hires because I think they speak for themselves. In terms of upcoming appointments, the president is going to be at the National Library on Thursday to open up a new wing for banned books. Do we have any questions?
Yes, Jason Chatto from Is There Something in This? First of all, like and subscribe and use promo code
for me undies.
It's it for 30% off checkout at Athletic Greens. I literally think if they do invite podcasters, they will start with, please, first of all, like and subscribe. Is the president going to come on my podcast? Can he come on my podcast, please?
Look, the president's schedule is obviously in flux at the moment, and as much as he does want to speak to the American people, he finds that his Truth Social account is the best way to do that, as well as his scheduled appearances. Joe, you've got a question
from Theo Von. Okay, okay, Joe.
Joe, you've got a question. Where is the Loch Ness Monster? It's a good question, Joe, and I thank you for it. As the president described over the 3.5 hours he was with you before the election, he is committed to finding and eating the Loch Ness Monster.
Lord Rogan. He's been given lordship by the... Do you remember when the Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott brought back ladies' lordships?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I like the idea that Trump brings back, like, you know, like Gilded Age level... like lady and lord and
I could see that. Here's the thing,
Lord
and I don't want to be glib.
Go on,
but it feels like the first step back towards slavery. With that guy, right?
Certainly the first step back. Yes, I would say so.
You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Yeah,
it's not like. It's not like, oh, what a funny quirk that was when we had dames. It's like, oh, okay, we go back another couple of years.
Literally 2 years.
These things aren't great.
Yeah. I was thinking, okay, is there something in this? It's like an old bedraggled press, like an old press hound. Like I'm talking about not Hunter S. Thompson Gonzo, but close to 1972, sort of following the campaign, on the campaign trail, loosened tie,
Short sleeve dress shirts.
Short sleeve dress shirts, exactly right. You know exactly the guy. Just bags under the eyes, whiskey for breakfast kind of guy.
Hey, Jiggles, take this down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a politician or if it's a journalist. So switcheroo here. But he's old. He's not Joe Biden old, but he's old. He's been in the game a long time. And he's saying to another journo, or he's walking into the press briefing room. And he's like, do you ever walk into a room and forget why you got into this game to begin with? Or you got into politics to begin with? You got into journalism to begin with?
I like that as an idea.
Politics. Yeah, because initially it came from me. It was Joe Biden saying, do you ever walk into a room and forget why you got into politics to begin with? But I thought, maybe it's more of a journo or someone else, like a staffer, like a chief of staff or a bedraggled White House intern.
I like that as an idea. Yeah,
But they have to kind of be old. Do you ever walk into a room and forget?
But is that the right profession? Could it be something...
Well, yeah, I mean, I was just trying to make it a daily because it was just like everyone it's just so... Do you ever walk into a room and forget what just happened? Like what...
But what if it's something even more esoteric? Like, ever walk into a room and forget that you're allergic to bees? I don't know.
Very Ed Steed.
Yeah, it is really Ed Steed. I've got that.
And he's got like welts all over his fucking head and face.
There's an aphorist next to him, like in the full suit.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. You ever walk into a room and forget you're allergic to bees?
It's so weird.
But the room's full of bees.
Full of bees. This is a room full of bees.
And I don't mean like those organized stacks.
No. The bees are just loose.
They're just loose bees. I think we have an episode title: "Loose Bees." That's great. That's funny. We got there. I would never have got there from that. That's fucking ridiculous. Okay,
because that is also something that like people will mention that if you ask for honey on your toast.
Yeah.
Like people love telling that they're allergic to bees.
Yeah, it's isn't it a weird thing? Like bees are the thing that they say. Oh, the environment is done for when the bees are falling out of the sky, whatever it is. They're the one earmark. Well, I'm allergic to bees. Well, I mean...
Well, yeah.
Ipso facto, if you start falling out of the sky, you're allergic to bees.
Well, a lot of the bees have had to sell their waterfront properties.
I've heard this. I mean, it's global warming. Mainly in Miami.
Sea level rise.
By the way, I was in Miami last week. I
get around a
little bit. I got out of the plane. Uber straight to the hotel.
Wrong. Why got out of the plane.
I bungeed. So the door blew off. That was Boeing. Did I mention it was Boeing?
Yeah.
The door blew off. I fell out of the plane.
Got out of the plane.
Got out.
Such a weird.
Like it's a fucking.
I don't even heard that.
Like it's a Tesla.
Oh, I love that.
Got out of my Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Actually, by the way, glut of Cybertrucks in Miami. Shocker. And I got out, and as a guy, immediately it's you couldn't make this shit up. Just a guy on the back of a fucking bicycle, wearing a cape. American flag is a cape, and it was very Cronulla. And he's holding a flag with Trump, "Make America Great Again," yelling, "Freedom, freedom, freedom." I'm like, this is day one. This was day one. Day one. It was the most Florida thing I've ever seen in my life, and it was my first time in Florida.
Oh, you've never been to Florida?
First time in Miami. Forgive me. First time in Miami. And I was like, this is extraordinary.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
No, they get the job done. You got to tell them. You've got to
very Lin-Manuel.
kind of respect the,
yeah, sure.
For the love of the game.
Fair
if I may dust off a classic from the beginning of the episode.
Yeah. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the show. If you have any ideas of your own that you want to pitch to us at the show, please send them to itsitpodcast@gmail.com or leave them in the comments of this episode. It might be a stupid idea. It doesn't matter. Put it in the comments. We'll figure it out. We'll shout you out on the show and we'll go through. This week we have two suggestions, listener suggestions.
Oh, great.
And the first one comes from actually the friend of the show, aforementioned Ethan Hall, my Jewish go-to when I'm asking, what does this mean? So is there something in this? Okay, so there's Caricaturist on like a boardwalk.
Yep.
Like Coney Island style Caricaturist. But they're on strike, so they're drawing people totally
That's
normal.
very funny.
Now, he asked This is why he gave it to us. He punted it, if I will. How do you show they're on strike? Is there a picket line? Is it caricatures on strike around
What if
them?
all the signs being held up are like photorealistic?
Like portraits.
Portraits.
Yeah.
Or watercolors.
We want healthcare. We want better
No, but it's
conditions.
just,
Because I did one that we sold a Mad magazine, which was like boom operator protest.
that was funny.
Which was just all the guys.
I really like that joke.
But similar to that, like write what you know. I've been a caricaturist for 20 odd years, and I always thought, what does it look like? First of all, no one fucking cares if we go on strike. Oh no, I need an amusing caricature.
How will someone know their nose is slightly too big?
It's not exactly an essential service, despite my insistence in March of 2020.
That's who I was clapping for. Yeah. 7 o'clock every night.
Banging
I was
pots for the
banging a
live
pot.
caricaturists
I was like,
at Coney Island.
Yeah.
Just, heroes.
They can do anything with just the slightest bit of information. My dad likes squash.
You like roller skating? Everybody loves roller skating. So anyway, so the thing is, it's like he's still clearly drawing someone, but he's on strike. Maybe it's a union thing. But yeah, he's sitting.
I don't know if
the
you and
drawing
I
looks exactly like the person.
discussed this.
Yeah.
Is the caricaturist lying on their resume?
Yeah.
And having to do the courtroom sketches?
Exaggerating everything on their resume.
Like the
landed on the moon. Everything
you went to Epcot. Yeah, well, I mean,
I've been around the world.
That's pretty funny.
I speak every language. You have Duolingo.
The idea of them lying on the resume and getting a job as a courtroom sketch artist. And it's
have we done that? I feel like
it feels like we've done it.
You know why? Because you have said many times, and I totally agree with this. Nothing reveals a terrible court sketch artist like a celebrity trial.
Yes, I will take that to my grave.
Wow. They put one on the front cover of the fucking New Yorker.
Yeah.
When Trump was on trial.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the... And I'm sorry, whoever did this...
Looked like Caitlyn Jenner.
It looked like Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
I'm not... Like, it was dreadful.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I can say with some conviction, I'm doing a gig tonight. I draw live all the time. I've been doing it for a long time. It's really hard. It's a skill that takes a lot of practice. Especially, I mean, in a courtroom, especially with a celebrity. I'm sure everyone thinks they know what someone looks like. But come on. Like, some of them look like it's like a bad AI.
This is what I was about to say. As a staunch defenders of the arts as we are,
yes,
is this one of the artistic jobs that we could replace with AI?
I really don't think it is, because here's why. The rule is you can't bring cameras into those trials, which is why there's a court sketch artist to begin with. You need a camera to do a AI generative. Like,
if you do, like, make me a thing of Donald Trump sitting in court.
No, but it needs to be an accurate depiction of the thing happening in the courtroom at the time. Oh. So you can take a photo with ChatGPT and go, hey, turn this into a sketch of blah, 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 with like DALL-E 3 or whatever it is. But you need to have taken the photo of the room. That's the whole point of it, is like, oh, what happened in the room? In the room where it happened. It's such a strange, antiquated rule, like that photographers were like, oh, fuck, really? I bet it was a union holdout.
But it also would have made sense when you're trying to do closing arguments and you hear, and this huge flash of light goes off in the corner because some guy's got his stand-up, camera that's only used to show enormous nuggets of gold from some hill somewhere.
Yeah,
Some bearded guy in overalls standing next to a, what you think is a park bench, and you realize it's the largest gold nugget found in Montana.
By the way,
squinting at the camera like that Norm Macdonald joke, squinting straight at
camera,
it.
Yeah.
What you got there? That's the camera. That's the flash. Don't think you need the flash. All right, we got to go.
We got one more suggestion, listener suggestion. It's a Christmas suggestion, and has this been done? Because
from
I don't
Santa?
know.
Did Santa suggest?
I think Santa might have suggested.
No, we should give credit.
Credit where credit's due. This comes from Leith McPherson in the UK, friend of the show. So it's two dogs at Christmas giving each other gifts.
Great.
but it's
Leith, I will buy 1,000 copies of whatever it is you're about to sell me.
And look, it could be cats. She said it could be cats, but let's go dogs because dogs do this more, I think.
And there's an exciting new dog title coming out in April.
Sizzle there. We'll mention that in the next episode.
Oh, next episode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
A little bit of sizzle. It's two dogs giving each other kisses, but it's just boxes. They've just, just giving each other boxes.
Great.
No notes. It's like they just,
That's great.
Yeah.
You don't already have one. No, I don't think it needs it. I think that's
I was going to say, is there a line where it's like,
no,
I hope you don't already have this one.
Yeah.
But it's just because dogs tear fucking boxes apart. Yeah.
So do babies.
So, there you go. Okay, maybe there's a couple of babies handing each other a box. Great joke. Love that joke.
That's fantastic.
All right, send yours in to itsitpodcast@gmail.com if you have an idea of your own.
Where can people see you performing this week?
This week at Union Hall, Saturday night, 10 p.m. Picture this. Look me up on Instagram at New York Cartoons for details.
I will be going to the Bahamas to do a visa. So if you need me, I am just so excited. I'm going by myself. I've managed to get like an interview time and I'm going to stay in a hotel all by myself.
This is something only immigrants who have to renew their visas have to know the joy of.
No, only parents.
Parents, of newborn children.
And I'm like, listen, I'd love it if you could come.
I'm so sorry. It's in Club Med. I've got a whole
Club Med.
I don't know what Club Med. I don't know. I haven't.
Club Med love it when single 44-year-old men show up. Yeah, I'm just going to be here for a few days.
It's their entire mailing list. Are you kidding me? All right. I think that's the show. Thank you for listening. Tune in next time.